Here, we are not going to understand these terms Purusha and Prakriti. We are simply going to understand the kind of priorities that we have in life, and in order to attain those priorities, how is Sage Patanjali trying to guide us with the concept of Viyoga, the separation aspect. So, for that, what happens? We identify the non important activities of our life. We identify the non significant activities of our life. We identify those clutter kind of things that we have accumulated in our personal spaces. Realizing and identifying those things and slowly developing to have a disconnected feeling towards it, the journey of the yoga begins. So this is how Patanjali tries to advise. In even in the last class, I made this point very clear. In order to make sure that you have the lessons of yoga and wanting to know what it can deliver to you or offer to you, what have you done? 6:45 to 9:45, you are separating yourself from all the other social activities of yourself, where you're keeping yourself to focus of what I can adopt in my personal space, in my on my personal body, to experience the benefits the yoga as a field can offer to me. So that is how the sage Patanjali tries to show the other face around and says that this is how the concept of yoking and detaching concept simultaneously is working. Okay. In order to understand the knowledge of how the rules and regulations of yoga has been codified, and how the mind being the instrumental behind our reason for the body getting victimized for the psychosomatic disorder, we need to study the Yoga Sutras text. The Yoga Sutra text, which text, if you are asking me, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, you can study from Bihar School publication, Kaivalya Dhamma Institute have come up with, which actually talks about how we identify the different process that the mind goes through. And while doing it, we have this kind of habit when we are looking at the concept, when we are looking at the information, we end up having a kind of debate, we speculate things, and there it clearly mentions that yoga as a subject is not meant for an intellectual debate or a speculation, because on each body it works very differently. It is a subjective experience that a person has to go through in order to understand the subject. So, the yoga as a subject is an experiential field. It is a practice oriented subject. The methods, the process, everything has to be understood by incorporating those things on ourselves, and through the feedback what our personal system gives, by that we are able to understand what yoga can deliver. Okay. So, Yoga Sutra is a process of systematically encountering, examining, and transcending each of the various gross and subtle levels of false identity that we would have accumulated in the mind field, because of which different kinds of stresses is aroused, different kinds of pressure, pain, anxiety is aroused in ourselves, because of the kind of perceptions that we have related to different kinds of things. So that is being corrected. Now, those kind of false identical things are being corrected, and the what is fact, how a person should experience it, those kind of information is brought out in the Yoga Sutras. In a very simplified manner to explain I talk with this slide to you. There are four chapters of Yoga Sutra with 195 to 196 verses. Okay, so we have 196 verses. Verses are short statement or phrases which are incomplete but having maximum in-depth information embedded in it. And this works, this the way the word has been articulated and placed in the form of verses helps the decoding the information in such a manner that it suits or it gives the message that suits the current needs of our life. So even so far, so many years have passed, so many generations have passed, still it stands long in supporting the current challenges the mankind faces. So in that context, four chapters with 195, some places it is 196 sutras has been given. The four chapters are called as Pada. The first chapter is Samadhi Pada. I will simplify everything so that you will know how yoga as a system is functioning. Samadhi Pada is the first chapter name. The second chapter name is Sadhana Pada. The third chapter name is Vibhuti Pada. And the fourth chapter name is Kaivalya Pada. Samadhi Pada is also called as the meditation chapter, the contemplation chapter, the absorption chapter. It is focusing on the different concepts of how a person can concentrate and meditate. Here I put it very simple. It is all about clearing the blockages, refining the kind of aims and objectives that we want in order to take it to the next level for its execution. In that context, the Samadhi Pada has to be understood, and it has 51 sutras. Next comes the Sadhana Pada. The name itself is self-explanatory. Sadhana is all about the practice, the execution aspect. What happens in the previous chapter? Samadhi Pada, we would have already the initial filled notions, the right, it could be the wrong, it could be the false things, it could be the real ones, it could be so many thought patterns that is already filled within us is decluttered with a closer contemplation of what have we accumulated within ourselves. With deeper concentration levels, we are able to prioritize of what do I want in my life next. As an individual, how would I want to see? This is a very common question that in the interview sectors also this is being asked. 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, how would you like to see yourself? Where would you like to see yourself? So this is a that thought process. It is enabling us, the very first platform is enabling us to have that clear clarity of what our mind wants, what our soul wants, as a body, what it wants. The next chapter is about the execution aspect. Once I am clear of what I want, my needs and wants, how am I going to have an access to it? So the second method or the second chapter talks about the methodology of accessing of both the need as well as the want. So this sadhana pada, the name itself is self-explanatory. It is a practice chapter. And this comes with 54 or 55 verses. It talks about various concepts of yoga, the karma, the kriya yoga, the ashtanga yoga. So whatever that your syllabus has that we need to understand what is ashtanga yoga comes in the second chapter of Yoga Sutras. And more emphasis while describing in brief about the 8 different limbs, Ashta Anga. Ashta is 8, Anga is the limbs. The 8-step module, explaining it in the most brief manner, it emphasizes in depth about the first five parts of the yoga. It discusses in depth. So what is this first stage? What is it trying to do? It is trying to make us realize me as a person who knows the world, who knows myself only through this gross body or my physical self. If I say, Aliston, who are you? What are you? You are talking about yourself from the identification of your body alone. That is your gross body alone. Or probably you would explain about yourself with the identification, your social identification. I am doing so and so course, or I'm working in this part or in this company. You're trying to give me those designation factors, the social designation factors, which are very temporary. Even if we look at the physical body, every stage, every minute as the life moves on, it is in the decaying process. Our whole identification is all that is very temporary. So it tries to say whatever that is externally influencing us, it could be in a right way, it could be in a wrong way, it could be in a good way, it could be in a bad way. Those kind of influences is identified by the mind, and slowly what are the things that are negative, what are the things that is unnecessary, those areas of our lives is being negated, and a disciplining or a culturing aspect is being embedded through our external behaviors. So what is the first five part of Ashtanga Yoga doing is, it is trying to culture us from outside. As a person myself, how am I talking or interacting or communicating with my fellow beings in the external world? What is my behavioral component, my mannerisms, my thought process, the way I help others or keep myself accessible to the needs of the people around me? So many things are being worked out, and there is a refinement process being brought. There is a systematic method of getting into this access, and that is being beautifully explained in the first five limbs of Ashtanga Yoga, which we will know in the later stages. The third chapter comes Vibhuti Pada. I already mentioned the word Pada is mentioned as a replacement for chapter. Vibhuti is all about powers, achievements, the output. Suppose we have worked out, we have done a kind of work, there should be a result to it. So, if the first chapter talks about the planning aspect, second chapter talks about the executing aspect, and if the person has followed that path and implemented it, then the third chapter should be talking about the outcome of it. So, Vibhuti Pada related to the kind of results that a person experiences, provided the person has cleared the mind, have come with a proper mental framework, and has applied the different techniques spoken in the yoga method. What could be the results that a person or as a practitioner can expect? That information is in the Vibhuti Pada. And here in this chapter, it speaks about the last three limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. I'll give a break after giving you an understanding of this chapter. You can interact with me for about 5-10 minutes related to questions about this, so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Okay, so the last three limbs is called as Antaranga Sadhana, internal practices. The external practices is the first five limbs, which is discussed in the second chapter. As we start negating, nullifying the distractions or the false notions, beliefs, practices that we had earlier incorporated by using the method or the tools of the first five limbs, we are now prepared to start an inward journey. Me as a person, who I am, what are my personal aspirations? As an individual person, what is my in-depth intentions How would I want to see the life? How would I want to lead the life? Those kind of qualities, very individual, very original qualities that are deeply within us, emerges out. How are we working on that? How are we creating an identification basis using those? Vibhuti Pada talks about it. Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. These are the three important components that it talks about. Then it does not stop at that point. It also takes us to the next level of how are we learning to blend all the three components put together. That is both dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, blending it together. And that method is called samyama. We have heard this word many a times in our life. Samyam hona chahiye. That means you should have a hold on yourself. When the life puts a challenge or a crisis, though when we are in nice or good terms in our life, we tend to behave as a very balanced individual. But all of a sudden, a kind of emotional problem or some kind of threatening situation happens to us, we tend to lose our control, and that is where we use this word samyam. So here also in the Yoga Sutra, it teaches us this art of how do we have this integrated control mechanism within ourselves. That means where we are not losing the focus on what we were attached to previously before a wrong situation or a different kind of problems comes in our life, and then mediating it for a manifestation. On that also we are not losing a hold. We enhancing our skill, mastering in that particular field, that also not losing the hold of it. So blending this in a deep focus, mediating power, and merging and enhancing that mastering skill within us, be it in any field for that matter. Now I'm speaking, if you look at very closely, I hope you're listening to me very attentively. If you're listening from past almost 45 minutes, I have never stammered, I have never taken a break or anything. The speech flow is perfect as according to me. So any work for that matter, whether it is our speech or whether it is an action performed through our limbs, there should be an uninterrupted flow. It could be at a gross level like this in terms of speech or actions. Also, it should be at a very subtle level in the kind of thought flow we have towards a particular goal. For all these aspects, Vibhuti plays a very important role. And it also tells us, provided that you have practiced in this method at a physical level, these are the kinds of achievements that is possible. At mental level, these are the kind of benefits that is possible. At a social, intellectual, and at a spiritual level, these are the different kinds of results that our body and mind can experience. So it is talking about and boosting and motivating us with the kind of outcome a practitioner can expect, provided the sadhana method and the samadhi pada, the highlights of how to concentrate the mind and develop the meditational techniques a person can experience. Then again comes the Kaivalya Pada. Kaivalya Pada is a saturation point. We have experienced in our life that the most learned person, the most knowledgeable person does not try to prove his skills at every given point of time. He finds a reason, or he sees that only when it is deserving enough, he showcases his skill. The kind of that let go attitude, the ultimate confidence, the ultimate what stable skills at our personality is experienced in the Kaivalya Pada, where we are away from all the kinds of inhibitions of our life. The very name Kaivalya Pada, in English, if you are translating, it can be called as liberated path, the freedom path. Freedom from what? At physical level, if we are looking at what is the kind of those things that restricts our next course of action. Is it body pain, a pathological problem, or any other kind of issues? You are overruling that. We have developed that ability to overcome, transcend the physical limitations. That means the soul, the mind, or the vehicle that is given to me to sustain in this life has attained that needed freedom. Then comes at mental and emotional level. What are those thought blockages that can overpower me or put me into a binded zone? It could be the relationship problems, it could be work pressure, or there are different threats coming, and me trying to learn those threats that is affecting me and developing an ability to transcend above. There again, I have attained the needed freedom. When I am having an interpersonal communication that is with the society around me, there are again a different kinds of threats that I face. And here again, how the yoga techniques are helping me to alleviate those kind of problems and give me that transcendence effect. There again, I'm experiencing that liberation or freedom. We will have very interesting ideas, different forms of expressions within ourselves. But somehow there is a fear component which does not allow me to express what is running in my mind at this current point of time. Throwing off all the intellectual inhibitions and developing the thirst for the true knowledge, what is stopping me? Identifying those reasons and then trying to push me and pull me out of that thing is again an intellectual freedom. So when we say kaivalya or liberation or moksha, these terminologies, the immediate idea is that I am not going to have a rebirth. It is not that concept. At a ground reality, me trying to pull away myself from all the kind of limitation that binds me. In that context, the Yoga Sutra chapters are being aligned. When I come to the fourth chapter, I am trying to realize and have a cross check at all my levels: physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, social, and at spiritual. Inside me and outside me, what are the limitations that is pending, or have I transcended all of this? And then experiencing the total freedom state or experiencing that pure contented happiness. So that is what this chapter Kaivalya Pada is all talking about. So Yoga Sutra has a put together the fourth chapter is trying to give us an evolved, matured person. It pulls that personality within us and emerges us to shine better, be it in any sphere of our life. So I stop at this point, and if you have any questions to ask me, I want you to make this session more useful to yourself. If you have any kind of customized training that you are looking for in improving the health conditions, it could be